Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram, he's at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we're talking Stephen A. Smith milking this Shannon Sharpe thing like I knew he was going to do. He just premiered a video on his YouTube show, you guys, and spent like the first, I don't know how many minutes on Shannon Sharpe. So previously we talked about this, right? Previously we discussed a couple of days ago, Stephen A. Smith basically gave out the warning that the big bosses at Disney, at Walt Disney, you know, the Little Mermaid, Aladdin, the Princess and the Frog, that Walt Disney said that they were looking at the Shannon Sharpe situation very closely. They were monitoring it closely and wanted to have all of the facts and all this and that. But it sounded like from Stephen A.'s tone that they were pissed off, that they were not happy about the leaked text messages and all of these other things. So it sounded like to me that a decision was already in the works, that they were going to put Shannon Sharpe on ice. It wasn't just going to be a matter of if they were going to do it, it was going to be when. And he was not going to make it out the week. And so Stephen A. at first in that video made it seem like he was team Shannon Sharpe and said that he denied the allegations and all this and that. But then once the conversation turned to his ESPN and Walt Disney bosses, the tone was like, listen, you effed up. You effed up. You're on your own. And so a lot of people called out Stephen A. because they felt that he didn't really have Shannon Sharpe's back. And he tried to reiterate and say, well, you know, I'm just the executive producer of the show. I know people see me as the face of ESPN and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but I still have somebody to answer to, da-da-da-da-da-da. So in this video, he reviews Shannon Sharpe stepping away from ESPN. At first, he's coming across like making it seem like he's here for Shannon Sharpe and they're good friends and all this and that. And he, you know, hopes he can come back to the TV screen soon and everything else. Wishes him the best for Nightcap and Club Shay Shay and all the things. But that he's meant to be on linear television discussing the NFL because he knows his NFL and he has his own flair, his own personality when discussing the NFL. But it kind of sounds like Shannon Sharpe's done. It doesn't sound like there's a window for him to come back to ESPN, despite what Stephen A. Smith is saying, because he's essentially saying he's trying to call out people, because obviously he's been listening to all these podcasts, because he specifically said that people were talking smack about him. So maybe that was a shot to Jason Whitlock and some other people, but nonetheless, you didn't have Shannon Sharpe's back. That was the whole thing. You went on and on and on. And see, this is the problem. You do all this flippity-floppity stuff, Stephen A. Now, all of a sudden, he's a good friend. Now, all of a sudden, you had an extended conversation about the allegations, and he's telling you it doesn't matter what you see on the internet. It doesn't matter what you read. I'm completely innocent. I'm completely innocent. And Stephen A. Smith is saying how he doesn't want to dismiss the accuser's accusations, and he still is standing on, 10 toes down on the fact that he is not happy with Shannon Sharpe's legal team. What that sounded like to me, if we translate into business and corporate talk, it sounds like ESPN / Walt Disney was going to possibly ride this thing out with Shannon Sharpe had his attorneys not released those text messages. Once those text messages came out, put the baby gravy in me and all that other foolishness, that is not about a whole new world. It is not it is not about I just can't wait to be king. That is not a part of the Disney brand. When they saw put some gravy in me, when they saw the big black D and all this other foolishness and all this other sexting and all of that, they said no, get this bleep out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, because it doesn't go with the brand. It doesn't go with the brand of Walt Disney. You can't release text messages like that. Who do you think you are? Are you crazy? Are you loco? Are you out of your mind? Who does that? Who does that? That's what it sounds like to me. That they were going to write with Shannon Sharpe, potentially cover it up, if the attorney did not want to release these text messages to be like, oh, we got to prove the innocence. There's other ways to prove the innocence without embarrassing yourself and embarrassing all of us and exposing all of us to information we did not need to know. Make it make sense. So Stephen A. Smith is like, and then he also prides himself too. He prides himself, Stephen A., that he's not been in any major scandals, except for the disgusting comments he always makes about women, by the way, and how women needed to be more quiet, is what he was saying about Steph Curry's wife, that she needed to be more quiet like LeBron's wife and everything else, and got himself in trouble. Made also comments about other people's accusations and things like that. Don't get me started on Stephen A. Do not get me started, because why is he going to be on a special this coming Wednesday, you guys, discussing President Trump's first 100 days? Because, again, this is all about Stephen A.'s PR campaign. This is all about Stephen A., who's going to be allegedly running for president for 2028, you guys. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we have to endure this tomfoolery of it all? Like I am just over it, y'all. I am just over it. I am over all of it. You didn't have to say anything. You didn't have to do another video on Shannon Sharpe. But again, you're going to do whatever is going to get you in the algorithm. And you want to make sure that you're still, you want to make it seem on one end that you're a good friend of Shannon Sharpe. But I don't know a good friend of Shannon Sharpe that is basically using their podcast to continue to discuss this. Like this was your dude that you personally vouched for to come on to First Take. You didn't even do this with Skip Bayless. Like you didn't even go this hard for Skip Bayless. But you wanted to make it a no, and I kind of thought this was shade at Shannon Sharpe. Like, listen, I've been at ESPN since 2003, except for the 2 years that I had to depart from the show or whatever. But since then, I've been with them, since 2003 and da-da-da-da-da. And we all have a boss to answer to. We all have corporations to answer to. And for those of you who had podcasts and y'all got sponsors, y'all got people to answer to, and you should be thanking them that you have people to answer to that's going to keep y'all in line, that's going to keep y'all together. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No. Here's the thing, Stephen A. Let's just keep it a buck, right? You're always going to be Team ESPN first and foremost, because you're their $100 million man. So it doesn't matter who you're friends with, who you're close with, or anything. If they say they're done with Shannon Sharpe, you are too. Right? So trying to get on your YouTube and get on your podcast and trying to clean up the gauntlet that you threw on him the other day, where it was just like sorrows and prayers. Sorrows and prayers, but Walt Disney's about to hand you the gauntlet, and then having the audacity today to make it seem like, oh, he's such a good friend. It doesn't matter if I talk to him a month from now, a day from now, a year from now. Does that sound like Shannon Sharpe cussed you out? Did Shannon Sharpe cuss you out for the foolishness you said a couple of days ago for putting his business out there with Disney and everything else? Like, because it sounded like his team was trying to get in front of something after the fact and make it seem like everything was still good at ESPN, only for ESPN to say, you need to say that you're stepping down, or we're going to say we're suspending you / firing you. And it turned into a whole 180.
That's what it's giving. It's giving something happened behind the scenes. That Shannon Sharpe did not like you speaking on his situation, and it didn't sound like you had his back. And then you heard other podcasters calling out the same thing that we saw, which is you not having his back. And now you're trying to backtrack into saying you have his back, only to end with not having his back by basically saying, I wish you well, sayonara, I got the show back, and da-da-da-da-da. like with friends like these, who needs enemies, you guys? With friends like these, who needs enemies? You are better off befriending a stranger. You are better off befriending a stranger if you have somebody who claimed to have vouched for you to come on this show. And you guys see, a great increase, a great uptake in the ratings, a great uptake in social media commentary. And the moment the scandal hits, even though ESPN and Walt Disney, they do need to be held accountable for not doing a proper background check, or they did do the background check and just ignored his previous issues at CBS Sports and also at Fox Sports as well, and just wanted, because of the sake of the Cat Williams interview, wanted those clicks and views, wanted those numbers. And so nonetheless, when a scandal finally hits while he's at ESPN, the first one with Michelle with that Instagram live video, y'all rocked with him, right? Y'all rocked with him. Y'all stood by him, everything else. Y'all believed his nonsense that he didn't do it and it was somebody accidentally did it, even though there's like 20 steps to go live on Instagram Live apparently. So nonetheless, that was intentional. And then this scandal, it sounded like ESPN was going to ride with you. That's what it sounds like to me from what Stephen A. is saying. It sounds like they were going to ride with Shannon Sharpe until Shannon Sharpe's own attorneys dropped those text messages. That's what it sounds like, because it sounds like Stephen A. is pissed off at Shannon Sharpe's legal team for basically help advancing Shannon Sharpe's suspension/firing from ESPN. That's what it sounded like. That is exactly what it sounded like. So, nonetheless, this is what Stephen A. Smith does, though. He is attracted to attention. He just wants the attention. He wants to insert himself into every story. He refuses to see that this looks bad, that you're his friend, you brought him on. There had been these allegations in the past. You didn't care about that because y'all cared about that Club Shay Shay interview with Cat Williams, wanting to get the views, wanting to get the ratings, wanting to be number one. To justify your $100 million contract and everything else. And then when bleep hits the fan, you go run to your bosses. You go run to mommy and daddy and, leave Shannon out there in the dust. Now, and again, in me saying this is not me giving Shannon Sharpe a pass, because I've been dragging him because he's an idiot for doing this nonsense in the first place. But a real friend, if you really claim to have been a friend, you would have stayed away from this. You would have stayed away from this. You would have given a brief statement. You would have been on the mute challenge the entire week, Stephen A. You would have been on the mute challenge the entire week. And then once the announcement came that Shannon Sharpe was going to be, quote unquote, taking a leave from ESPN, you could have just read that statement, said, I wish him all the best. He's a good friend. He has denied the allegations. Boom, next story. But the fact that you keep dragging this out, the fact that you are trying to prove that you are a good friend to Shannon Sharpe and all of these things, it's giving you are trying to backtrack. You're trying to walk back some of the avalanche that you threw his way a couple of days ago, and it's too late. It's too late because guess what? The damage is done. The damage is done. You showed yourself. You showed yourself. You're the company man, even though you're the one that fought for him to be there. But now you got to walk it back. You got to walk it back and say actions have consequences and this and this and that. But just keep it a buck, Stephen A. All this back and forth and the waffling is why people continue to call you out, because you just don't keep it real. And that is the problem people have with you. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.